Yo, what up, my dudes? Haiden Deegan supposedly has some sort of injury going on here. Take everything I say in this video with an absolute grain of sand, okay? We gotta be careful here because I don't know exactly what all's true. I don't know what all's, kind of hearsay. I know there was somebody that made a video about this here recently, but even before that, I remember seeing some sort of a tweet from Pulp MX, aka Steve Mathis, you know what I'm saying? Where he said something along the lines of, like, he heard that Deegan, hurt his wrist, and that's why he was going to be racing East Coast Supercross. So, I heard that like a week ago, like closer towards, like, before Anaheim 1, okay? So, now we got, like, people making videos on it, a couple different people talking about it now, and also, it doesn't look like we've really been seeing any video content from the Deegans that is showing Haiden Deegan riding. I don't know, what you want to take away from that, but, it is kind of adding up to that a little bit. Supposedly it's like maybe the scaphoid or whatever the hell. I guess the same thing that James Stewart, messed up at one point in time. Again, I don't know what any of this is actually fully truthful because all these people like to hide everything that's going on, you know what I'm saying? So, but, yeah, I was expecting Deegan to be racing West Coast for sure just because of, him showing like him really training and stuff like that, getting ready, wanting to get back to racing. It seemed like he would have raced West Coast, but it does seem like he will be ready for East Coast. I know he made a post about that. He's ready to race in 24, like East Coast. So, yeah, even though he does seem to have some sort of potential wrist injury, I don't know the extent of it. Definitely let me know down in the comments what y'all boys have seen or heard or whatever. But I'm just kind of talking about it in general here in this video. And oh, isn't it so interesting how I just made my video last year talking about, Deegan training with Tomac, right? And in that video, I brought up the clip of where Deegan, like, he was training and he went bouncing through the whoops and his foot come off the foot peg and he bounced off the bike. We saw that video footage, few couple weeks there before Anaheim 1. That wasn't like the wrist injury crash. I'm pretty sure that's like a whole separate crash. But anyways, basically us seeing that, I was kind of like, we saw Deegan crash a lot in his first year of Supercross racing, and even if you want to go back to like his very first pro motocross race where he absolutely wadded his shit, bro. Had Iron Man, literally his first pro race ever. I mean, one of the gnarliest crashes I've ever seen, Then he goes out in the Supercross Futures race or whatever and had a wreck in that. Had like a little wreck in that one. He had multiple wrecks through the Supercross season, a lot of which were in practice or qualifying or like heat races and stuff like that. You guys remember the one where he wrecked in the whoops? I mean, you are blindly defending if you can't see the fact that Deegan does crash some. And yes, he was a rookie, he was a rookie, whatever. He is going on a crazy speed level, but I'm just saying, you are kind of blinding yourself a little bit if you don't realize the crashing that Deegan has done. There certainly is some of that going on here. And that's, it's funny that I made that video bringing that up, talking about when Deegan was riding with Tomac. Like, I brought up the fact that, he's known for crashing. He just had that little crash in the off season where he's bouncing through the whoops and bounced off the bike. I remember saying that. And then lo and behold, here we are. Deegan doesn't show up to West Coast Supercross and supposedly he's got a wrist injury. Okay, so that's kind of what I was saying there. I mean, and a lot of y'all boys don't like it when I say anything that could even be remotely construed in some kind of a negative way towards Deegan. You get all pissed off and defensive and shit. It's kind of funny. But that's why I keep talking about things like that, because it's kind of funny seeing y'all boys get riled up. But it's funny because, like, I literally just talked about that. I just talked about how Deegan was crashing a lot, like I'm saying. So it's all in, can Deegan figure out how to still go that same crazy speed, flashy speed level, but cut back on the crashing and the wrecking, okay? That's the whole thing I've been talking about with Deegan this whole time, That's what that's what basically chewed up Adam Cianciarulo and Austin Forkner's careers. They were super flashy, really fast, everything that Deegan was right now, but all it takes is a couple crashes, couple injuries, changes how the way they ride, changes their confidence level, changes, a couple different things, and then all of a sudden you get a couple years down the road and they're not they don't end up having the kind of career that you think they're going to have, And I get it, this is motocross, this is supercross, crashing is just a part of it. I understand that, but you can't just ignore the signs of crashing at the extent that Deegan has at this point. And then you add in him bouncing off in the whoops in the offseason, the footage of that. And then now we're getting this supposedly he injured his wrist. That's why he's going East Coast. So we're starting to get a bit of a pattern here. All I'm saying is I just hope we don't continue to see that. Because even when you think back, it's like Adam Cianciarulo won 3 of his first 5 Supercross races, okay? 3 of his first 5 Supercross races. All y'all boys are super hyped up on Haiden Deegan, and, a lot of you guys are thinking he's going to be the next best thing, and he very well possibly could. But to just already stamp that, I feel like that's a little bit insane, because if we've learned anything, it's like you can literally be an Adam Cianciarulo, the biggest amateur to ever come through. You win your first 3 out of 5 Supercross races, including his first pro Supercross race he ever raced. He won the main event. And you've seen how his career has went. Okay? Deegan hasn't even won a Supercross race yet. He hasn't even won a Supercross race yet, guys. Like, I'm just saying, there's been dudes that have done better than Deegan has done so far, but then had a shitty career, or had a lackluster career, or not what you would have expected them to do. You would have thought Adam Cianciarulo would have had 3 250 Supercross championships and, already have a couple of 450 Supercross championships. That's just what you would have thought, by seeing what he did in the amateur class and even what he did in those first few Supercross races. But that doesn't always necessarily happen. That's what I'm saying. With Haiden Deegan, we still don't know yet. It's one thing to say he could be the next best thing, but to just say he is the next best thing, you got to be careful saying shit like that, man. Forkner went out there and he almost won every single Supercross race of a particular season, and then had 1 injury, 1 crash, and then he hasn't really been the same guy since. Forkner was also another top-of-the-line amateur coming through. Everybody and their grandma thought he was going to be the next best thing. I mean, the proof is in the pudding that, like, you just really don't know how these riders' careers are going to go. I mean, I don't know. That's my thing on it, though. I mean, it's just like seeing this Deegan's potentially injured his wrist kind of thing. It just worries me, man. It just worries me, man. And of course, the Haiden Deegan fanboys, I'm not just talking about fans, okay? I'm a Haiden Deegan fan, okay? But the fanboys, they don't want to hear any of that. They don't want injuries to even be any sort of a thing with it, They don't want to act like Deegan crashed at all last year. They want to act like he hit the deck like once or twice maybe. That's it, bro. But again, it's like, you could have said those same things about Cianciarulo, and I'm sure a lot of people said those things about Cianciarulo when he tore his shoulder out of place. Oh, he'll be back next year. He'll be a really good guy next year. He'll be the same guy next year. It never really happened. Just like with Austin Forkner, I'm sure a lot of people thought after he had his crashing injury, he was going to come back the next year and be the exact same guy. It doesn't always happen that way. So all I'm saying by saying any of this is Deegan just needs to be really careful because he hasn't even gotten a Supercross main event win yet. You know, he's got a lot of flash, a lot of hype, like a guy that has already won a Supercross championship or has already won a Pro Motocross championship, but he hasn't done either one of those things yet. Okay? Hasn't even gotten a Supercross win yet. So I just don't want to see Deegan like get too far ahead of himself. You know what I'm saying? You know, these guys, it's like they, especially nowadays in amateurs, they damn near have a whole pro career before they even get to the pro class. And a lot of the guys just fizzle out, or they burn themselves out, or they crash out, injure themselves out of being able to have that long-term successful career in the 450 class kind of thing, you know? And yeah, Deegan's still young. He's still got a lot of time. You know, he's got all the right things going for him, but he's going to have to quit hitting the deck this much, man. He's going to have to quit crashing this much, man. You know, like I say, when you're pushing the limits and you're going on that level, yes, you're going to have some crashes, but I think he's been a little on the... He's crashing too much for comfort right now. He's crashing too much to the point where it's like eventually it's going to catch up to him injury-wise. And I don't want to see that happen. So, either way, though, this could work out in his favor. You never know. You know, he could... that could have stopped him from going West Coast, which seems to be pretty stacked in the 250s. Could have made him go East Coast, and now he's going to be able to win that shit super easy. You know, you never know. Sometimes things happen for a reason. We'll just have to wait and see, man. But either way, y'all Deegan fanboys, be sure and leave me some hate comments down below. I know you will anyways. Oh, man, making my videos bigger, making me a little more money. Hell yeah, dog. See y'all boys on that next one. Later, dude.